And access to our educational content is 247 via library or the learning management system that I talked about. And our application portal is also open 3 times, registration portal rather, not application. Our application is open throughout the year, it's 247, but registration portal is open 3 times in a year. 3 times in a year, which means you can get admitted either in January, either in May, or in September. Yes. So for further details on what we do at ABUDLC, you can visit our website at abudlc.edu.ng, or straight you can just go to our application homepage, apply.abudlc.edu.ng. Yes. So really thank you very much for the time. And should in case you have any question, like I said earlier in my introduction, this is an opportunity for that. You can send in your question and we provide you the answers that you need. Thank you once again for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Usman. If you have any question, I would want you to raise your hand and unmute. For those who are raising their hands currently, who joined with listening mode, I would advise that you rejoin with your mic so you can unmute and ask a question, or you can just simply type it on the chat so that I can read it to Dr. Usman. So if you have anybody who wants to unmute, can unmute now. Elizabeth, I see your hands are raised. Can you unmute and ask a question?
Hello. Good afternoon once again. My major concern or worries is that you say for us to go for the screening, we have to go to the nearest centers to us. Like for me, I'm in Bello, and the nearest center to me is Abuja. Actually, I didn't join from the beginning because I had problem with connection, my network connection. So to write the exams, are we going to write from where we are, or we are going to come to the center in Abuja to write the exam? That's one. Then secondly, I for my own, I've done other courses online from the US. For screening, we scan all our originals and send. And based on that is what the admissions were given to us. So, but this one, they asked us to go physically. So I think for somebody like me that my work is very, very, very tedious, it's a bit hectic for me. If I'm able to get to go for the screening, what of other times that work may not allow, and then I'll be having problems. So I don't know what measures you want to put in place to make this screening easy, and also to also find out if writing of the exam have to go back to the center, or we are writing from where we are. That's the second question. So I want to know about that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for this very good question. Elizabeth has 2 major questions, as she rightly pointed out. She lives in Benue, and the nearest exam center to her is possibly Abuja. For now, we only have limited number of exam centers for obvious reasons. The more the exam centers we have, the more the facilities, the more the budget. And that means the more the cost of the program. And we are very mindful of this. So for now, I think we are still working that out. But until then, I think the nearest center to one is where one goes to take his exams. And as to whether it is possible for one to stay wherever he is to take his exams, I guess maybe that's online. So obviously for the version of ODEL approved in Nigeria, that is unacceptable. It is not acceptable to stay somewhere, just take an exam online. NUC does not approve of that. NUC requires some physical, some form of physical monitoring and supervision. So that means you would have to be in a center, fully monitored, that is what NUC wants or approves. So on that one, you can see that we are to some extent limited in what we can do. Even if we have the capacity to administer exams online, we are restricted by the extant law within the country. And as for the screening physically, the good news is one doesn't have to come physically for admission screening. We have option for remote screening. Yes, and I gave list of contact. You can call our, technical support unit. They can guide you through the process. You do not have to come physically for the admission screening. So we have that option for you. Yes. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Doctor, we have some questions in the chat box for you. Someone is asking, how will someone in the UK get his certificate?
Okay, again, this is another one. ABU being one of the premier universities has this strict compliance to book. Collection of certificate is still the responsibility of the student. There is a process for someone to get your certificate for you through proxy, but it's again deliberately made difficult for obvious reasons. This is Nigeria. We want to make sure that only you collect your certificate. So, but DLC is working out a way of collecting, on behalf of the student and then, dispatching to the student through some secure means, through some courier means. But until we sort that out, up to now, students are expected to come and pick their certificate and do the paperwork by themselves. That idea of someone coming to collect is being frowned at the moment by the university. This is the true position. One thing with a system like this is no matter how flexible you would want to be, then there are some regulations, some requirements that guide your actions and inactions. So this is the situation. So for now, students are expected to come and pick up their certificate, but there is a machinery on the way so that at some point, ABU DLC being an organ of ABU can be collecting those certificates and then dispatching them to students through some, safe means. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We have another question in the chat box. Someone is asking, I think Chiamaka is asking that, my question is, please, why are we or the tutors still using WhatsApp as a form of interaction or lecturing?
Okay. We have this, the LMS, the Learning Management System, which is our virtual class. And we encourage e-tutors to spend most of their time there. But we do understand that WhatsApp has now gone so far and become so handy that it can be used to complement LMS. So for example, e-tutor can pass some quick updates. For example, that our class is starting in the next 5 minutes. It's easier and it will be more effective than doing so through our virtual classroom, because we know our handsets are close by and we know how frequent we do check our WhatsApp. So by officially, we consider WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and so on as complementary or auxiliary platforms. Our main and formal communication medium is learning management. And this is where we are also going to be assessed by the NUC when they come. NEC would not go checking WhatsApp or what you do on Zoom. They will check your LMS. That is the official medium of instruction. Yes. So, yes, I understand that some of our e-tutors are more comfortable using WhatsApp, but we discourage that. And in fact, we sanction if we discover that you just abdicate, you desert, the LMS and just solely rely on the WhatsApp. We discourage that. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Ken is asking, is there an option for remote screening? I think doctor has answered that.
Yes,
Emmanuel is asking, I'm interested in the MBA program. I'm a graduate of economics, but I understand that I will have to apply for MBA special. This is not fair to me because all the courses I am going to take in my first semester are courses I have already studied in my undergraduate. Hence, the reason I did not move forward with my application.
You know, we have had a lot of this. Some would come with all kind of qualifications, this requesting for waiver here and there. But then we need to have a system. If we just allow it open like that, it will just become something else. It will become a market square. You know, for now, the courses listed are those ones considered for direct or regular admission into MBA. If one is outside that, one is expected to go through 5 semesters. That is an additional semester, for foundation training. And it's light. It's not something too rigorous. Really, this is just to ensure quality, to ensure that one is fully prepared for the MBA itself. You can recall that ABU's MBA is highly sought after and is highly respected. And this is one of the reasons. There are some quality checks built into the entire value chain, from admission, screening, administration of the classes, assessment, all the way. Yes. So please bear with us for now. Yes.
Thank you very much, doctors. So we will take some questions from the chat. Omalara says, this paper collection of certificate can be collected by self from any of the screening center? I think doctor has addressed this question. Another question is, please, my question is, if you are an accountant and belong to ICANN and you want to do an MBA with specialization in finance and investment, are there any exemptions? Because I still know this part of my foundation courses, principles of accounting.
Yeah, for those ones with ICANN and some of those professional certifications that are recognized, there is some element of concession, or what we call waiver. And I gave some numbers, or rather, we are going to give out this presentation, get the number of the program coordinator, who will guide you, giving you the specifics, the details regarding the waiver system we have. Yes, there is some form of waiver for those categories students.
Thank you very much, sir. Another question, it takes how long for certificate to be ready after successful completion? I think doctor has answered that previous questions. Yusuf is asking, kindly make available the record. Okay, yes, we will. Elizabeth is asking, please, can the slides be shared? Yes, we'll also do that. Chiamaka is asking, please, sir, are we to come to Zaria to pick our certificate for those of us in Lagos? I think doctor also addressed that you can come physically, but right now they are working on a way the DLC can also help distribute the certificate. Ashram is asking, can one change his or her examination center after registration For instance, I currently work close to Kano. That's why I chose Kano as my examination or registration center. Assuming I am transferred to Jos and want to write my exams in Bauchi, how possible is this, please?
Yes, it's a very good one. This is very possible. So as I was saying, this is very possible, and it's something that's accommodated within the LC. For those that are existing students, may notice that during our last exams, there was this restriction. If you choose weekend, you must write your exams during weekend schedule. If you choose weekday, you must write your exam during weekday schedule. That has now been lifted. You can take some of your exams during weekend and take others during weekday. And you can start your exams, in one location and complete in another location, provided we have an exam center in that location. And provided you do that not less than 2 weeks to the exams. Give us notice that this is what you want to do. But where you have genuine emergency, directly call the support and tell them that this is what is going on and this is what your request is. Your request may be considered. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. For those raising their hands, I will advise that you put your questions in the chat box. Because of the time limit we have, we'll just be entertaining questions from the chat section. The next question, Paba is asking, what is the rationale behind offices in Bauchi and Gombe concurrently when centralized places are available? Can I access the enlightenment materials by my email, please?
Now, I don't get this question very well. If you can clarify. What is the question saying? What is the rationale behind what and what?
I think the question is saying that why do we have offices in Bauchi and Gombe when there are centralized places where these offices could have been located?
Okay. Before we erect any office or an exam center, for those that are existing students are aware, we do run surveys. We are guided by the student response. And then we map that up across the country and see how our students are distributed, how our students, the density of the student looks like on the map. And based on that, we are actually guided by the student responses. Someone may, personally, maybe before, if I do not have access to such data, I can just subjectively point at destination A or destination B, which to the best of my knowledge may be prime and more strategic. But that's unfortunately not what the data is saying. So we rely on the data. This is actually what happened. We ran similar survey not long ago, guide us on where to have more exam centers. And we have added, I think, about 6 now. We were guided by the outcome of the surveys. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Emmanuel S. Sang is asking, 20,000 naira per course is expensive. Can't anything be done to reduce that amount?
Emmanuel, right?
Yes,
Emmanuel,
sir.
Yes. If you look at the services you enjoy, out of that, you'll be given all the course materials you need for that very course: video, audio, tutoring, and so on and so forth. All under 20 with the inflation that we have. And again, compare that rate with what is obtainable elsewhere in similar programs within the country, vis-a-vis the service and the quality that you are getting. If I tell you that we are still struggling to remain afloat with this rate, you'll be surprised. It's a lot of investment, it's a lot of infrastructure, and so on. And in fact, as we are talking now with the inflation in almost all dimensions, we are really struggling very hard, to keep, in the business. So I can assure you, Emmanuel, that is not something big compared to what you are being offered. And again, relative to what others are charging within and outside the country. Mm-hmm. But again, we are mindful. We know that we are in the same country. We are aware of the economic situation. We wish we could do better. We wish we could get it lower. Truly, we wish we could do it at lower rate and still offer the services, that we do offer now. And again, if you look at it in this way, for those that come on campus, see how they are being charged in some part of the country. And this is exclusive of feeding, transportation, and other sundry items, expenditures on campus. All these things are shaved off you. You don't have to go through such troubles. And you access your library from the comfort of your bed. You take your lectures, while even, sitting in a bedroom. All these things are under, I think, Emmanuel. So we wish we could do better, really. That is the explanation.
Thank you very much, sir. The next question is, can I get the vocal person number for Benue State?
Benue State. What I'm going to do, I'm going to share the PowerPoint slide, and therein you would have contact of more than 20 vocal persons, like I said. You may have contact number of someone closer to where you are on the PowerPoint slides, and I'm sure you will get the contact there. No problem. You'll get that.
As far as is asking, I would like to know, where does your exam center is located in Bauchi State?
Okay, so like I said, we do not have exam centers in every state of the federation, but we do have in some selected states. We have 16 in total, and let me remind us about the state where we have those centers. It's not in every state of the federation. Like I said, we have 4 in Abuja, we have 2 in Sokoto, we have in Zaria, we have 2 in Kano, 1 in Bauchi, 3 in Lagos, 1 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Gombe. These are the centers we have so far. And we're still working hard, depending on student population and how they are distributed in space. We are also working to have more in the near future. And if you can get us like 100 students in that location, we are happy to go and set up an exam center there. We have to look at a number of factors. You cannot just open up a center and deploy staff members there, be taking exam script there for maybe 10 or 20 students every semester. It's not going to be feasible. But as a benchmark, if we can have like 100 or more, we are happy to kickstart a center in any location within the country, provided it is safe. There is insecurity. We are not oblivious to this fact. We are all Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Another question from Kehinde Ayade is, please, when is batch C DLC program coming up?
Okay. When he say program, by our definition here, there is course, there is program. A program is like a degree program we have here, which can be undergraduate or postgraduate, right? And here in DLC, we have what we call phases. We have phase 1 program, phase 2, phase 3. We are now working at our phase 4 programs, set of programs. So at our phase 3 programs, for instance, we have 11 programs that were deployed. We are now working on phase 4, another set of programs to be mounted. But then we also have semesters. We have semesters. We have January semester, May semester, and September semester. I suspect he wants to say September semester, and he's referring to
Yes,
that
sir.
maybe batch C, right?
Yes, I asking when batch C will start.
So it's in September. It's not bad. We don't call it batch C. It's actually September semester. So it's going to kickstart in September, by God grace. And at the moment, our registration is going on, and it's going to close. In fact, this is even extension period. It's going to close, I think, on the 3rd of July. So for those that are interested, you can still use this window to apply and register.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm Hadiza, a student currently running the BNSC program with the DLC.
Okay, Hadiza, you are welcome. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Sir,
Yes.
please, I noticed for this first semester, that's the May semester, I'm running 11 courses.
Okay.
For each course, it is 10,000 naira per course. That's the registration of the courses. So I want to know, is it for the next semester now? And the second semester, the courses I'm going to run, is it going to be the same thing? Is the registration per session or per semester?
Okay. I guess you are a 100 level student, right?
Yes.
First semester.
200 levels, sir. First
Yeah,
semester.
200, sorry. 200 first semester.
Yes.
I suspect so. So this is how it works. Maybe you didn't join at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, we register here at the beginning of every semester. And
Okay.
registration is per course. It's per course. So you are the one to determine the number of courses you would want to take per semester, provided it's not below 12 credit units and it's not, of course, maximum of, it's not beyond 24. You look at your economic situation and your capacity, your work schedule, then determine the number of courses you believe you can offer in a given semester. So for the second semester, you look at what I have just said now, then to determine the number of courses you want to take. Like I said, not below 12 credit unit, of course, not more than 24. Then you look at your economic situation, where your place of work and other factors, and then you choose. That's how it works. So it's flexible to some extent.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. I think we would be wrapping up now. Would like to wrap up the session. If you still have questions, I will advise that you send in your questions to our support. They'll drop in the details on the chat box, so that you can send in your questions, or you can also call the support lines so that they can give answers to your questions. We really appreciate Dr. Usman Abubakar Zaria for joining us today, in taking this session and bringing more light to what ABU DLC and EduTech are doing, in order to foster the education in Nigeria and also outside Nigeria, but those that are in the diaspora that also want to take on ABU courses. We appreciate everyone joining in, taking your time, in attending this session, and we look forward to those who haven't applied to apply, because the current application window is closing in July 1st, and registration is closing July 2nd. So we really encourage you to make your application and also register your courses. Also, we have a refer and earn program where you can also refer students. So if you refer someone to ABU DLC, you get chance of earning 5,000 naira. I'll be dropping the link to the referral on the chat box so you can generate your code and also share your code to your friends, your family, anyone who is interested in applying to Ahmadu Bello University Distance Learning Center. I say that our support details have been dropped, so I will encourage us all to reach out to our support using that email address and also the phone line so that we can ask our questions, and I'm very sure that you'll be given adequate answers to your questions. Once again, we want to appreciate Dr. Usman for taking his time out to be here with us. It's not that easy to get the deputy director of ABDSU to take out his weekend to just try and address prospective students and also current students issues. So we really appreciate the efforts in joining us today. With this, we would like to close the session and appreciate everybody for joining. We look forward to future sessions and future engagement with our prospective students and also our current students. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.